I think the overall savings rate is still quite high in Japan, where people
Yeah.
are still saving for a rainy day. And as a result, that's one of the key reasons why a lot of individuals are, sort of still not spending. And that's why I think, when they're looking at the overall CPI reading, they're going to try to come out with a new reading, try to exclude some of the more volatile specific goods like energy prices. But I think overall, when you look at Japan and sort of where the yen is, I think right now a lot of investors are still not seeing clearly exactly what's going on, because when we look at in the mid 80s, you had basically Japanese trade being about 40% together with the U.S. But right now, Japanese trade with the U.S. is now less than 25%. And as a result, we think this whole correlation between the yen, the dollar, as well as the stock market should actually start to decouple.
Right. There are a lot of things working against Japan, though, potentially, don't you think, Ken? I mean, you don't know where Trump is going to end up on this trade thing. You don't know what the new rules are going to be, whether there's going to be a border adjustment tax, whether they're serious about doing this 20%, extra tax on everything imported into the U.S. Because for all the, decades of expansion by like car makers, just to use that big example, in the U.S. manufacturing space, they still make a lot of stuff in Japan, and a lot of the high-end stuff is still made locally in Japan as well.
And that's exactly it. I think the other key thing with a lot of the Japanese corporates right now is they're really cleaning up their balance sheets. If you look at the overall deposits to loans in Japan, they're one of the lowest globally. It's roughly around 70% compared to where Europe is at about 110%. A lot of the Japanese corporates right now are really strengthening up their balance sheets, building up on M&A. So we're seeing a lot of M&A happening right now with Japanese corporates buying a lot of overseas assets. And at the same time, a lot of these Japanese corporates now and a lot of these Japanese manufacturers are moving a lot of their production overseas. Before, about 10 years ago, it was probably roughly around 5 to 10%, whereas right now, almost 25% of overall manufacturing or the productions are actually done outside Japan now.